Hi everyone, welcome to Motivation Corner, and this is Mpuluke. Welcome to the biggest podcast in Wheatbank. This is your favorite podcast, I'm telling you. So, guys, thank you so much for being here, for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Guys, as you know, this is Motivation Corner. We're here to talk about motivation. We're here to motivate, to inspire you, and to encourage you and spread positivity all around. So today I thought, let me bring this woman. I always see her on Facebook, see her on my statuses, WhatsApp statuses, and I'm like, let's talk to her. So today I have with me Thandi Ntuli, your favorite sales executive and a motivational speaker and your MC. So welcome Thandiswa, and please introduce yourself to my viewers.
Thank you, Gang. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for the warm welcome. So, hi everyone. Like she said, my name is Thandi Ntuli, your favorite sales exec. So, I hold so many titles, but I'm a motivational speaker, I'm an MC, I'm a sales exec, Dibalantoni now. So, you'll get to know more about me as we proceed. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, so Thandiswa, I think I met you at the gym.
Yes.
How's the journey going?
The journey is going. Anyone that started at the gym or has the fitness goal or weight loss goal, they know that it's not really an easy, straightforward line. The graph does this a lot. As long as you focus and you know the end goal and the end results, and you know that as you go to the gym and as you do whatever, you just like you must be patient. But
Yeah.
it's going. I'm having fun. The energy is there. I'm seeing the results slowly but surely, and I'm just
Yo, girl, Mina, sometimes I'm like, I'm gaining weight. Sometimes I'm losing, it's going well. So I can attest it goes like this. It's up
yes.
and down. So no, man, let's talk about you. Where does Thandiswa come from? Of course, for me, background is so important because you cannot say you want to know where the person is going when you don't know where they come from. In as much as it doesn't define you, but it's important to know where you come from to get to understand you and know you. Where does Thandiswa come from, and where did she study up to the point where she is now?
All right. I was born in Denelton, Philadelphia Hospital. I grew up between Denelton and Witbank. I think I started school that side, but I sort of continued from here, grade one, and I finished my matric here, high school, Vikas Malaza, and then I just had a child just after school. The teenage pregnancy, and thereafter I had to find work because I wanted to do film at SAFTA, but now I have this child, so I had to make changes in my priorities. Then I started working, and as the years progressed, I've been in the casino industry. I've done my own things, and I've done property, and now I'm in car industry. So that's where I come from.
So, in your work experience, you started at the casino.
Yes.
What were you doing there?
Before the casino, just I was in the movies, the theater, movie theaters.
Oh,
Then I
okay.
saw that there was a post in the casino. Then I applied. Then I started there as a slots attendant. Then I worked in the marketing department as a host. Then I got promoted to be the promotions and events coordinator on the managerial level, where you manage the club desk, you do you host the events, the promotions, and the list is endless.
How did you get this promotion? Were you studying? Were you somehow getting courses, doing short courses, or it was just favor or and your hard work?
Hard work, and I studied to become degree in marketing, but I didn't finish. I dropped out because in the middle of the course, I felt like it's not making sense. I felt that I should have done what you call the other one, journalism, actually. So when I felt like it didn't make sense to me, because I was already doing the job, and when I'm reading the book and the books and writing the exams, and I'm like, no, man, this doesn't make sense. I don't know if anyone can relate, but it didn't make sense to me. That's why I just said,
You feel like it's a
let
waste
me,
of time.
yeah, it's a waste of time. Let me just do short courses that can take me where I want to go, rather than doing the whole studying for the whole 3 years or 4 years or 5 years for something that you are already doing, something that you already know. But yeah, so that's what inspired me to just say, no, I'm just not going to do this.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a qualification, like you just have those short course
Yeah, like I
qualifications.
have a lot of work experience, a lot of talent, a lot of creativity. If you want to go with that, then I'm your woman. But if you want qualification on paper, no. I just have tiny, small courses there and there, and I'm fine with that.
You are content.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. So now you are a car exec, and I remember when I met you, you were still into property. I
Yes.
just for the sake of us young people who are buying homes, buying cars, so to now I want us to focus on the buying of the property. Uh I come to you, hi Thandi, so I'd like to buy a house in a certain area. What do you look for? What is your questions for me? Because people want to buy houses. The next thing they say you don't qualify. So I just wanna know. I'm here. I'm telling you I wanna buy a house. What do you want from me?
It's always best to pre-qualify a person as a sales agent, and it works for both the agents and also the buyer, because you first need to know if you're buying on credit, how much is your buying power. So what we do, we're just gonna find out how much will the bank be willing to borrow you. Let's say you must give us, like, if you're an employed person, you give us your 3 months bank statement, latest pay slips, ID copy, and then your proof of residence, of course. And then we just put in a pre-approval for you. And then if one of the bank comes with the better offer, then we come back to you to say, okay, ma'am, you qualify for 1.5 million.
Yeah,
And then which area would you like to buy a house?
yeah.
So when you know how much you qualify for, then that's what will give you the power for you to be able to choose the area that you want. Because there's no use for you to want to stay in Bankenfeld, and when you apply, you only qualify for 650,000,
Gosh.
and you can only buy a house at certain areas. So those are the questions. First, find out how much the bank will qualify you before you can
I always
proceed.
hear people talking about credit score. How do we get to the credit score? Just explain to me as someone who like simple that I need a credit score, because I remember one of my friends was trying to buy, I don't remember, was it a car? And he didn't have accounts, didn't have anything. It was just clean savings, no or nothing. And he was told that you don't qualify. Even a mere qualification to have an account with um TFG. Is it TFG? Like
Yes, yes.
your sports scenes. So how does the credit score thing work?
All right. The banks would like to see how you behave when you have a credit. So they need to view you as a credible debtor. So basically, it's important for you, if you want to buy a house and you open up an account, either you take a cell phone, but it's always best to take a credit card because it builds up the credit score faster.
Kuka.
Yeah, a credit card.
Oh.
And then when you've taken the credit card, basically, then you can just use it and pay it for like a month or two. But preferably, because when you ask for the details, it's 3 months. So 3 months before you want to buy a house, it's best for you to open up a bank account, a credit card, alternatively an account, clothing, or a cell phone, because your lender would want to see how do you behave with credit.
Yo. Hi, then we always complain that for me to buy a house, but guys, you can see that I'm well behaved when it comes to money. Why must I
No,
have
it's
this
like the banks
colored?
work differently than anyone. I would be happy to see that maybe you save and you are clean
Yeah.
as a person, but the bank are using that system. So it's been going on for so long that it is what it is. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was telling you of somebody who bought a property somewhere, and then you're like, I feel like those properties are overpriced. So if I come to you, yes, I can qualify for that place. Do you also advise me that why don't you look at this place? Why don't you look at this place? And how do you know that something is overpriced? A property is overpriced.
Okay, because we normally do what we call the market comparison, and then evaluations as well is very much important. So we would know, because when you're being an agent for so long in the specific areas as well, so you know the going rates of these places. So even the bank, when they come to do the bank evaluation, once you purchase the house, if it's overpriced, they will tell the seller that no, it's overpriced. So I believe that it also depends with the agent that is helping you and the relationship that you have built, because you must be always as well fair and honest. Some clients are difficult to deal with. Somebody you might be trying to advise or just suggest things, and they're like, no, I'm sure and I want it, and money is not a problem, and they wouldn't want to listen. However, what happens is that when you want to buy a house at a certain estate, and yeah, I can say to you, all right, do you really love the area? Because now once we've pre-qualified you, then I need to know what is it that you're looking for, what interests you most in that area. Do you want a place next to schools, ATMs, petrol garage, hospitals? All of those things count. And then if that's what matters the most for you, then obviously with your budget, we must find you a house next to those amenities that you have chosen for yourself and your family.
So that's your duty as a as a salesperson when you're selling me a house.
Yes, as an agent, when you come to me and say, once we've established how much you qualify for, I will check on my current stock to say, okay, these are the houses that meet your criteria. Would you like to view them? These are the areas. Then you would be able to choose the areas based on what you prefer in terms of schools, church, petrol garages, ATM, hospitals, mall, shopping complex. So it will really depend on what you prefer or what is important.
I think we must come back to property selling really, because some agents, when you're saying that you do that for us, you advise us. Some people will just say, oh, you want this place, then like, oh, okay, they don't even advise you why are you buying here, do you know they have these problems and this problem. But I feel like as a salesperson, yes, your goal is to make sure that you have sold that place, but also please like notify us. So with regards to that, I just want to ask, which property do you buy? Is it buy pre-owned? Which one is better, pre-owned property or new in the new development?
It depends on the person's preference and buying power and the areas. Because with the pre-owned, it depends as well if it's a standalone house, it's in an estate, it's a flat, and all of that. And it also depends on your future aspirations with regards to the place. If you want to extend, you want to paint it, you want to add this. If you want to have add-ons, obviously, I would discourage you from buying a house in an estate because there's so much that you can do. However, if you buy a standalone as well, you can buy brand new. Alternatively, you can buy pre-owned. It really doesn't matter, because when you buy pre-owned as well, you would have viewed the house with an agent, and you would have known maybe if there are problems, like there's a stain here, there's a stain over there. Obviously, there's things that the owner must do first before you move in. Some of the things you're gonna have to buy the house as it is. It really depends on your intention as a buyer. So one wouldn't really pinpoint and say it's better to buy pre-owned or new. It will depend with the circumstances of an individual buyer and the future plans of regarding to with the place.
Okay. Sometimes when somebody sells you a house, let's say a house has problem with geyser, maybe on the roof, they do have stains, but a person can be clever and paint the ceiling when she knows or he knows that he's gonna sell. How do we protect ourselves from that? Because now I wouldn't have noticed that there's something wrong with the house before I make that final purchase. Or does the bank, before they evaluate or you sell it, do they come and check all those things for a buyer?
What we do as agents, obviously, we will go with you. You see the pictures and maybe choose which house you want to view. Like, it would be advisable to go physically. Unfortunately, if the owner has concealed a lot of things that you and I can't see with our naked eyes, it is what it is. However, you are allowed to hire somebody that can go and evaluate, but it will be from your own pocket. Somebody that can climb the roof, like, and look at every detail. So you're allowed to hire such a person. However, when you and I go and we look through our naked eyes, and there's a lot of things that are concealed, like you want to buy the house and you move in and you start discovering those things, for us, our hands are tied, because both of us, when we went to view the house and even on final stages and stuff, everything seemed as it was. There's nothing much that we can do. but you can take it up maybe with the courts and stuff, and maybe sue your owner if you feel that will make you happy, and you believe that perhaps
They must pay you
it
something.
was there before and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Then the courts can decide. However, if you feel like it's something that you can fix yourself, then you do that. Sometimes, like, the owners are so honest that they tell you, no, we have a problem with the geyser, but we'll fix it. So as an agent, when I take you to view the house, I will disclose that to say, okay, the geyser will be fixed, hence it will be stated on the contract. So before your house launch or before you can move in, we can always revisit the contract on the things that needed to be done. So if the owners promised to say, okay, your client can view the house, what I intend to do is to paint the house and fix the geyser and repaint the ceiling before they move in. So as an agency or an agent, we have to make sure that is done before the owner gets the money from the lawyers. So we will make sure that all is done beforehand, and it would have already been disclosed to you. If they can't do it, then the lawyers that are handling the transaction would obviously do quotations and make sure that happens and give the owner less what they needed to do that they didn't do. So you do find very honest agencies and agents. In my experience, I haven't come across anyone that is crook or they didn't deliver to what they promised.
Yeah. For someone who's trying to buy a house, what do you look for? What must they do? Like, what are the things to look for when buying a house?
All right. First thing first, like I said, I would recommend you first find out your buying power. If you know you can buy a house of 850,000, then you can look as to you and your family prefer to stay in an area where there's schools, church, and whatnot, and in which area do you prefer the most. Then if it's an area in, let's say, Del Judo, I would recommend, if you are not a homeowner for now, you can find a house in that area to rent, maybe even for 6 months or a year before you buy, even if it's not the same house that you're going to buy, just to have a feel of the area. Because once you buy a house, it's like 20 years or 30 years contract. So you kind of stuck. So some people, if you're not in a hurry, you say, okay, I want to buy a house in 12 months' time from now, then maybe find a house to rent around that area that you want to live in and see what challenges are there. However, if you don't have time to do that and you want to buy a house now, because in Witbank it takes 3 to 4 months for you to move into your house, because there's pluma involved, COC, there's many stages before the house registers into your name. So you can actually just do your research to say, okay, there's high school, there's primary school, look at the kids you have, which grades are they in, what do you really prefer, drive around as well yourself. And then when you approach an agent or the agency has done the pre-qualification for you, just take a few days to think about it and ask them maybe to suggest areas, but do your own research. Then if you know that you like to stay in Del Judo, then you're like, okay, I want a house in Del Judo, my budget is 800 or is 850. If the agency you've chosen doesn't have such a house on their stock or available, then they're going to have to go look for it. And then once they find it, they're going to bring you to interest you. If it's something that makes sense to you, then you can start the transaction.
Nice. So obviously we're talking about the buyer. Now I'm the seller. I'm planning to sell my house. What are the steps?
All right.
Where do I go? Like, because let's say I want to sell the house. What do I do really?
It's simple. Like you just gonna sit and like, okay, now I think I wanna move from Del Judo to Bankenfeld or to Reno Ridge, just an example. And then you're just gonna contact an agency of your choice. It would be simple for you maybe to go on Property 24, go on social medias, your Instagram, your TikTok, your Facebook, and just watch the agencies as they advertise their homes and stuff and see which one do you think appeals to you. And then you approach them, you ask them to come through and advise you on the value of the house. So most agents are qualified to do what you call a home evaluation. And then you tell them, in my opinion, because once you've done a lot of work in your house, like maybe the roofing, you rewired your house, you've done a lot of work, painting and whatnot, you would automatically feel that your house is worth 3 million. Whereas in that area, maybe houses are selling at most 1.8, houses that are similar to yours. So the agency will come, take pictures, evaluate the house, do market comparison, and do a proper evaluation of the house, and come back and advise you to say, ma'am, we heard that you said in your pocket you want 3 million. It's impossible in these houses. your houses of your specs or your caliber design, they sell at this, they can just show you proof as well and do a proper evaluation and advice to say what is possible is this much. Are you happy with that? And then if your answer is yes, then you decide if you're giving them a sole mandate, as in this is the only agency that can sell my house, and then you're giving them 3 months or 6 months depending on your contract. Alternatively, you can just open your house to as many agents as possible.
Yeah.
That will speed up the process, and then using more or less whatever you've been advised on and you are happy at. But the first steps obviously is to approach an agency to assist.
So on my own, I can't just say.
There are people that are selling
I'm selling
their
my
house
own
on their
house.
own. You just need to find out the steps in terms of, okay, now you take pictures, you put it on the specific advert area, like maybe Property 24 or something, sold by the owner. Then you should know more that, okay, once you start finding people coming to view your house, once they're saying they're interested, then you must have obviously conveyances involved and stuff like that, and they will advise as to what steps must be taken. In my personal view, I would say rather use an agent. It's easy that way.
It's safer as well.
Yeah, it's safer, and it minus still the admin of always opening your house. Oh, come, and help people to view. And maybe there's many things you don't know much about the industry, but it's a person's or individual choice.
But as a person who worked there, who has been an agent
if
before,
I want to sell my house, I would also, as experienced as I am, if I'm busy with other projects, I'd rather hire an agent to do that for me. Yeah, I think the agency will do a better job.
Yeah.
What happens that when you are listed under a specific agent or agencies, at least it's like more like free marketing for you. And then some prefer to use one person because they know to say, okay, I'm expecting these results by this time. You're putting them under pressure, and they'll do their level best to make sure that you get a good price and relevant price, and people coming to view your house, and it's safe and all of that. So agencies give you peace of mind.
Okay, so I don't know how to ask this one, because maybe I come to you and I'm like, okay, for this house, I want 700,000.
Yeah.
Then who decides on pricing the house on the market? Because obviously you're not doing this for free. You wanna get something. So that whole pricing process,
like, it goes back to what I said. They will do an evaluation.
Yeah.
So most agencies have people that are qualified evaluators. So they will do obviously market competitive pricing and also market value, and then the evaluator, based on experience and whatever they've checked, they will advise you, say, ma'am, in your area or this house.
no, I get you. Okay. Let's say the price is right.
Right. And then who pays me as an agent?
Yes.
Of course, then what happens is I'm going to get a commission. So obviously, agencies work at a specific percentage to say, on top of your house, this is how much I'm adding, and this is what, once the client buys, then it will be my commission and stuff like that. So obviously, every house that is on the market has got a specific markup, so that the agent can get something from there.
Oh, okay. So, because I'm like, now my house is supposed to be 700,000, then now
then there's a plus. Oh no,
it's 850.
Because it's something that I've discussed prior.
Okay.
Before you give me a contract to sell your house, obviously these are the things that we will discuss before I get the mandate from you. All right, your house is worth this much, and if I add my commission on top of it, it's overpriced. So let's make a compromise. I'm willing to reduce my percentage if you're willing to reduce yours, and then we meet each other halfway and we're both happy, because the agent is going to do a lot of work, more work than you will, in terms of advertising, bringing people to view, making sure your property is always safe and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how we do it.
Yeah, so there's this thing that maybe as a seller you might struggle with, or like, do I sell? Do I rent? So how can one decide whether to buy, to sell, or to rent? Because I was telling you of someone that they are moving to a new place and they don't know whether to sell or to rent. How would you advise one to rent out the house or to sell the house?
It will depend on that individual, in a sense that usually people have paid, the contracts with the home loans run up to like 20 years, 30 years. It depends how far you are. If you left with 5 years and below, I believe the house is as good as paid out. Okay? And then secondly, it will depend if you have the stomach of being the landlord, because finding tenants for some areas or some houses might prove to take a bit longer. So if you will be willing to secure or have money for your bond for the 4 months or the 3 months that your house is empty, number one, that's one thing you should look at.
And it's
Number
security.
number two, when you have tenants, there might be good tenants or bad tenants in terms of skipping rent or not taking good care of your house and stuff like that. So those are the things that you must consider as well. However, if you are somebody to say, okay, just 3 more years, if I can have somebody help me moving into my house and assist in paying it off, rather I sell it once it's fully paid off, or it's my investment, or it's a house for my child when they're grown up and stuff like that. So it will depend on really what are the possibilities and your vision for future with regards to that property.
So your advice is look how many years you still left, or look how much you still need to pay, and see maybe you can reach that amount in 2 or 3 years time, and then you can rent.
You can, you have a house that is paid up, and then you can rent it out or convert it to, depending on the area that is at, you can convert it to a business stand, like do that business zoning and stuff, and that way you can hire it out to office, make it an office space. So it could be part of your investment, because remember, multiple streams.
Also, it's been advised several times that we should buy properties in case you also, if you're selling, I want to believe, if you're selling, you must also know what you want to do with the money. Sometimes you can sell and you don't have an idea what you want to do with them, and then you wasted your investment.
Maybe it's not a good one. Maybe the market is down in terms of in that area. If you feel that you deserve 700,000 in your pocket, but at that time the houses are selling at maybe 550 or 600 in that area, and how much of it will go to the bank and pay off maybe municipality account and stuff? If you're gonna be left with 100,000, is it worth it?
How do you mean when you say paying off municipality account?
Maybe you're owing.
Okay.
We wouldn't know your
all right.
So maybe you're owing municipality and you're owing the bank, because some people sell not because they want to, they sell because of the situations of their finances.
Okay, so when I'm renting out, since you said for me to sell, your personal advice would be to use an agency. Renting, is it still advisable to use an agency?
Yes, because when you rent it out directly to a person, sometimes they get used to you and it's easy for them to tell you stories. But with an agent or agencies, they sign a contract and they know what are the do's and don'ts. It helps with boundaries, and that you don't have to deal with your clients directly, because now they'll want to come and tell you, yo, so and so passed on and I must go help out, because you're a human being, you're gonna feel for them. Next month it's another story. Before you know it, 6 months down the line, they're not paying rent because you're too understanding. So, but when you involve agencies or agents, then it's business. You don't even have to know your tenants.
Yeah, so I think I'm done. If I forgot something about property, we will, I don't know, I'll call you and write on the state on the comment section. Let's talk about cars.
Yes.
Oh, also, okay, let's talk about cars, because I want to ask you, is it better to which one to buy first, a house or a car? But let's talk about car sales. What do you do there? Is it the same process as selling, as buying a house? Still go to the bank, evaluate how much you can qualify.
With the house, it's similar in a different way, but it's similar as well, because what we do is, usually when somebody buys a car, they sort of know which car they want, the model and whatever. So for an example, you come to where I work and you want to buy the cars that I sell, and you first thing that I want to know, how much is your basic and how much is your net? Because here in South Africa where I work, obviously the qualification will be anything from 8.5 for you to even talk that you want to buy a car. So
from 8.5?
Yeah, from 8.5. Obviously, I work for a multi-franchise business. We have used cars, demos, and we have all the other brands.
Different brands,
it will depend on how much you're earning, and then how much of it do you want to spend a month, like on your personal capacity. That way we will be able to advise you accordingly. You might come knowing exactly what car you want, but your salary doesn't allow. Hence, the first question would be, okay, how much are you earning? And then which car, like in those car, what matters the most? Like we do what we call qualifying you. So asking the relevant question, what matters? Do you want a sunroof, leather seats, you want petrol,
Your specs,
diesel?
Nje.
Yeah, all the specs. You want 2 liter, you want 1.5, you want whatever. Then based on our conversation, somewhere somehow I would know if you have a car to trade in, or you want to put in a deposit, or you want to finance it, or you want to buy cash, before I can even go and show you what cars we have. So once we've established your basic, your net, and then if
Your specs.
your specs,
Yeah.
and also if you're trading in or not, then we can talk cars in terms of how much do you want to spend on a monthly basis on your car. I want to spend 7.5. All right, on 7.5 in my department, or the cars that I'm selling, this is the car that I can put in based on your specs or your desired car. So we go and see the car, and I offer you a test drive, and then when you come back, if you're happy, you can do the application. And all we need from you as well is just a 3 months bank statement, 3 latest pay slips, ID copy, and driver's license copy, and we do what we call a pre-qualification as well, an app, and then we see what the bank says.
But still, they still need the credit score, hey?
The credit score, like I advise, with
But
the
it's
houses
not-
and here
yeah.
as well, you need to have an account, take a credit card.
But it's not as severe or strict as in the houses, ne?
Darling, if you want to buy anything on credit in South Africa, you would need to prove your credibility. So meaning you need to have an account of some sort, cell phone, clothing, or you can take a credit card.
Doesn't rent also go as a...
No, because at any given time you can walk away from the property. So you would need to take an account and actually prove your credibility and how loyal you are in terms of meeting your obligations on a monthly basis.
There's something I always wanted to understand. People saying, I'm trading in, hey, now I'm going to take a new car. Say, okay, my car now, like the remaining amount that I still need to pay is 70,000. And I go sell the car, trade it in with you. You guys trade it in with maybe 50,000. So what happened to my 20,000?
Okay, I'm there to ask. So basically, when you trade in your car at 70,000, but the company decides to buy it at 50,000, and your settlement as well, it depends on how much it was, because we need to find out from your bank that you've borrowed you the money to buy the car as to how much, if you were to pay your money now, how much would they settle it for you? And then based on what we're offering you, let's say we're offering you 50,000, and your bank says you can settle it at maybe 80,000. And then obviously when we offer you the 50,000, there's a 30,000, which we call it a shortfall. So basically what we're going to do on a new installment, they say the car costs 330, so it will be 330 plus that other shortfall amount, including tax, and then we put it there, and then we calculate a new installment for you, including a shortfall.
Oh, but sometimes we are advised by motivational speakers, since you are, no, if you must downgrade, yeah, what. No, so now I was driving this car of 300k, and then now I want 100k, but as understand, at the end of the day, I'm still going to.
Like downgrading, like, because now when you're going to from a car of 300,000 to a car of 100,000, and there's a shortfall and it's this big, like they can't load it obviously, as in add it on that new installment. So you have to find means. So some of the way you can maybe I don't know, have someone in your family maybe take over your installment until such time that you back on your feet, maybe. I don't know, that could be an option. But you want a car. So it's very hard, darling. It's catch-22 situation. So you have to, I don't know, find a way. You can downgrade, but if you're trading it in, unless you, I don't know what you would do. Maybe sell it and maybe hope that they buy it.
You still be
maybe unless if the person that buys it at the same amount the settlement is, then you settle it, the car goes, your name is still fine, then you try again when you fit again.
This car thing is tricky, guys. You guys must be careful. So, and Thandi, so which one is important? What do I buy first? A car or a house? In your own personal view.
Again, it's a personal choice.
Yes.
As to what your priorities
Yeah.
and what do you need urgently. Personally, I feel that a car is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity, because it's nice to
But
know.
we have your Bolt and
It's not the same. It's not the same, darling, in terms of cost involved. And sometimes you're in a hurry. You want to leave now. You want to get wherever you're going now. Now you must wait for Bolt for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And Bolt, in some other days and times, it's a bit expensive to what you intend to pay. So it's better to put a petrol of an X amount of money in your car. Know that you're going to drive that the whole week and you can get to go wherever you want, whenever. You are not limited. And it's you're driving for yourself. So personally, I would say maybe you can buy a car because you paid for a shorter period compared to buying a house. But yet again, it's an individuality choice.
yeah.
Individual choice. I can't decide for you. But if you're just asking for my opinion, you finish to pay the car before you know it is 5 years later, 6 years later, 7 years later, 8 years later, depending on the contract that you've gotten. And maybe after paying your car for 6 months to a year or 2 years, you would be able to make it work in terms of your finances. You say, okay, maybe I'm paying 7,000 towards a car, including insurance, and then maybe I'm spending 2,000 rand on petrol on average, and the car is still within the service plan and the warranty. So out of the salary that I'm getting, how much more would I be willing to commit elsewhere? So if 7,000 pays you for your car and everything, then you're like, okay, I think I can pay for something like another 7,000 or 8,000. Then you can say, whenever you're approaching someone, I need a house of around 7 or 800,000, and then they still have to pre-qualify you. And then even if the bank qualifies you for a million, but you know your pocket better, you need to say to the agency that is helping you to say, in as much as I qualify for a million, help me find a house of maybe 650 or 700,000. Because with 700,000, you're looking at plus or minus the installment that you prefer, maybe 8, 9, 7. It will just depend with a lot of factors in the market.
Oh, I think this, I didn't know how broad car sales and property sales is. So it is. So before we can waste a lot of time because we are working at the time, Thandi, so I don't want my viewers to be bored, Pale.
Yeah,
so
obviously.
let's talk a little about your motivation. What is your favorite topic to motivate on?
Water is life, eh?
Yeah, no, I must drink water.
All right, darling. As a motivational speaker, I say to myself, I'm actually a transformational speaker. You cannot be in my audience and remain the same or live the same. Why I'm saying that? Because my favorite topic is personal development. We need to work more on ourselves and we do our jobs. So going to work 9 to 5, being the best employee, being loved by everyone, still, are you happy with yourself? Do you have joy in your heart? Would you say your life is balanced? Would you say you're doing what you are called here to do and stuff like that? So my favorite topic is personal development.
Okay. So where do you MC?
Parties, corporate events, weddings, I don't know, anywhere you want me to
Funerals?
talk about. Pardon?
Funerals?
A what?
Funerals?
Funerals, I haven't done a funeral, but if you know of one where they need an MC, I think I can try that.
Must plug you.
Definitely. I'm a versatile person, and I think I would go with what the environment requires.
Yeah.
So I think I can fit even like kids' parties. I would like to think that I can be able to hold it up, like play with the kids and make sure that they're having fun. Adults,
Cater for them.
Yeah, I can cater for everyone. I'm versatile.
Seeing that, you mentioned that you wanted to study film.
Yeah.
And later on wanted to do journalism. Where are you with that? As we close. Because it seems like it's something that is in you. Look how glowing you are talking here. You the personage, like you are nailing it. So how far are you with that?
Okay, with film industry, I did theatre growing up. I was I'm a co-founder of a group called QCT, Kapelani Community Theatre. So we did stage acting. I wrote scripts and yeah, we danced and we acted and stuff. And I'm not doing anything about it. Actually, I should consider, because at some point in the back of my mind, I felt like we'll see as the future goes. And then with regards to journalism, it was a thought as opposed to doing marketing, become degree, that I should have done that. So I have no intention of pursuing journalism. However, right now I'm just about to start doing digital marketing. So I've registered a master's degree there. I just need to start.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just
Nice.
gonna do that, and I'm gonna focus on selling cars, and yeah, obviously now and then do my MCs, gigs, and also speaking gigs. And I'm in the process of writing a book, which I've been procrastinating. Someone in this room knows that. And also, I'm procrastinating starting my own podcast. But
Yeah.
obviously, it's a different things than podcasts are more or less the same. But obviously, we're bringing different flavors, different topics,
No,
different people,
we
and stuff.
collaborate.
Of course, darling.
Yeah.
So I'm on the verge of starting my own podcast. I know what I want to talk about and do actually.
What do you want to talk about? Maybe we can even start now. And really, you can even start and put it there before you can even post, so that people, you tell them, please subscribe
One other
before.
thing, like if you go on Facebook and sort of on YouTube and look for Thandi's on Ntuli, I have videos that I've put 2 years ago. The viewership is nothing compared to what you have, because I didn't really market it.
Yeah.
So I put it in to stop. So I was like, okay, let me try other things and whatnot. You
Yeah.
know, at some point you just need to detox from everything and rethink your life, have a
Yeah.
new direction. Hence, I've changed careers, if you may put it. Like from the casino, I did my own thing. I sold alkaline water, and then I got into real estate, and now I'm into cars. And then I love emceeing, and I love being a speaker. And I'm about to write my own book, and I'm about to do my own podcast. So it's about life as a whole. For me, we'll go from fun to serious matters to motivation and all. So it's like life as a whole. Everything you can think of in my podcast, we'll talk about it. Because at the end of the day, I want to capture everyone, because then self-development is broad.
Yeah.
And it comes in many angles.
Yeah.
So in my podcast, I'll have you as well. You talk about your podcast, how you started, who are you, what motivated you, do you feel that you've achieved what you were hoping for, and the people that you've interviewed, who are your favorites, and what have you learned from them as well.
Yeah.
And how is your life looking like 5 years from now and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
talking about that.
Thank you so much, Thandiswa, for coming. And I just want to say you did well for yourself, seeing that you had a breakdown, when a car breaks down, and then somehow your journey is cut short. But I'm so inspired that regardless of you being pregnant and having a baby, you didn't just sit a auction and be like, obviously there's money for grant. You were like, I'm gonna stand up and do something about my life. I'm not just going to sit with, if I have a mind, I have hands, I have lips, voice, I'm just going to
No
do
one is coming
something.
to rescue, darling.
Yes.
Save yourself.
Yeah. Do you have any last words as we close now?
All right. To everyone there, take care of yourself. A healthy mind, healthy body, healthy life. When you are happy, everyone around you is happy. So have routines, life. Decide who you want to be and do it. Then have a goal list. Write down your goal and decide, if you had a magic wand, which one would you make come true today? And then focus on that one. I know a lot of people talk about multiple income streams and stuff, but focus on one thing for now. And then once you become an expert on it and it's successful, then you can look at branching out. So more than anything, work more on yourself than do anything else, your job and stuff. And bear in mind, you can never change anyone, but the person that you can change is yourself.
Yeah.
So if you change the way you see things, the things that you see changes. And for you to be a better person, you have to renew your mind, get a new mindset, and you don't just get it for free. You get it through reading books, watching
Listening
motivational podcasts,
podcasts,
hang around with the people that are where you want to go. So have a vision about your life. Vision boards works if you believe in them, but it won't help if you have one and you plug it there and you don't follow
do
through.
anything.
So pray if you want to, but don't just pray and fold your arms. Action, action, action. You see results, you continue with action. You don't see results, you continue with action, because eventually you'll get where you're going. If you stop today, you'll never get where you want to go, and you'll never know how it feels like. So you're already feeling the pain. Why not get the prize?
Yeah, there's the motivation now, Thandiswa. So guys, thank you so much, and we just like to thank Bretton Wood #2 for this beautiful place that we are shooting at. So from me, Bethany Media, and Thandiswa, we like to say bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.